Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so lovely to see you all here tonight, to have such a full sanctuary. We have so many celebrations tonight in the most beautiful of ways. This is what community is about. We have a bar mitzvah. We have a celebration of an ordination, actually 2 ordinations. We are celebrating going to camp, so many wonderful things. And we are just so appreciative that you are here to celebrate Shabbat with us, to embrace Shabbat, and just to give yourself this time and this breath. So I want to invite you all, if you have a device that makes noise, please turn it off or to silent. Don't just turn it to vibrate, because you'll still hear it, your neighbor will still hear it, but turn it off, especially a watch. We forget about our watches. Turn those off also. Give yourself, give your neighbors, give this community the gift of Shabbat tonight. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to be leading services tonight with Rabbi Hannah Bender, who you can applaud for Hannah. We also have another newly ordained rabbi in the room, Rabbi Kelly Whitehead, who is here. We have many rabbis here tonight. And as you may have seen, if you follow us on social media, Hannah was actually my camper at Asrui many years ago. I don't know what year, but a long time ago. 2008, thank you, Kathy. 2008, Hannah was my camper, and Kathy magically unearthed pictures of us from when Hannah was my camper and I was their counselor, a very tired future Rabbi Jesse at the end of a summer. And so it is just such an honor and a pleasure to be able to lead services with Rabbi Bender tonight. I will remind you, this is going to be really hard for this community because Rabbi Bender grew up here, but Rabbi Bender is now a rabbi. So I am going to invite you to call her rabbi when you're talking to her. It might be difficult, I know. I remember the first time I went back to my community, but I'm going to invite you to try and call her rabbi tonight as her title. They have worked very hard to earn this title. So with that, we are going to begin this evening by singing not quite a traditional Kabbalat Shabbat song, but a Kabbalat Shabbat song, a song that is very appropriate for the moment. And it is called Zeh Hayom. It is on page 276, I think, because I wrote down the wrong page number. But I'm pretty sure. Yep, 276 at the top of the page, Zeh Hayom.
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom, Asa Adonai.
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom, Asa Adonai.
Nagila,
Nagila,
v'nismecha,
Nagila,
v'nismecha bo. Nagila,
Nagila,
v'nismecha,
V'nismecha, Nagila, V'nismecha.
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom, Asa Adonai.
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom, Asa Adonai.
Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for all of us to dwell together as a sacred community. I feel so honored to be here, to be able to lead and pray with all of you tonight in this community, this beautiful community that has been part of what has raised me and gotten me to this point. So we'll turn to page 10 and sing together Hine matov. sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
You first.
How good it is, how sweet it is,
How sweet it is
to be together on this day.
You first.
How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad.
It is my pleasure now to invite up Lorna Helgeland to kindle our Shabbat candles tonight.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'haltik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Some of my friends and I would always joke there's this tradition of welcoming the Shabbos bride into our midst. And we got into this practice of thinking, what is the Shabbos bride wearing this week? And I think this week she's wearing a camp shirt, she's got her water bottle on her, and she is coming to have Shabbat with us. So we're going to turn to welcome the Shabbos bride with Lecha Dodi on page 20. We will pray together verses 1 and 9 and rise and welcome her in her best camp gear in verse 9. Please rise. Not yet.
Lecha dodi likat kala
Pnei Shabbat
nikavela. Lecha dodi likat kala Pnei Shabbat nikavela. Shamor v'zachor v'liborecha Ishmianu el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad V'shemo tiferet v'litila Lecha dodi likat kala Pnei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha dodi likat kala Pnei Shabbat nikavela.
Please rise.
Boi v'shalom ha'teretz bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzochola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha dodi likat kala Pnei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha dodi likat kala Pnei Shabbat nikavela.
I'm going to ask you to rise again for the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure, on the eve of his bar mitzvah, to invite up Leandrew Tolliver to lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim uvitvuna mishana itim umahalif et hazmanim umsader et hakohavim umishrotehem barkia kirtono borei yom laila Golel or mipnei hosha, vahosha mipnei or humavir yom mavi laila. Deal vein yom uvein laila Adonai tziva'ot shemo el hai v'kayam tamid yao leinu le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai mahamariv aravim. This one, okay. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down, when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves us, your people of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We move now to the Shema on page 34, and this is something that one of my colleagues calls the Shema both a lullaby and a battle cry. It is something that we say in the mundane. I remember saying it with my mom before bed, going to sleep, but it's also something that we're supposed to say when we're in danger. And so this is something that stays with us, that is a deep part of the Jewish soul. And it is a custom to close your eyes while you are praying the Shema, because this first word is to listen. And in order to truly be able to listen to what is around us, sometimes we need to take a step back. So I'll ask everyone to rise on page 34 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad.
Please be seated. We'll turn the page for the V'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, uchshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai veitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Turn the page to page 39 and we will read at the top together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Top of page 43, we will read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores shukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We'll turn the page to sing our song of praise for Shabbat, that we have this amazing, beautiful thing that is this day of rest, that it's not just a gift for us, it's also a command. And if so you need someone to tell you to rest, this is your command. On page 44.
Yismechu, yismechu, v'malechutecha. Yismechu, yismechu, v'malechutecha. Shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu, yismechu, v'malechutecha. Yismechu, yismechu, v'malechutecha. Shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat.
We are going to continue now with our congregational tefillah, which begins on page 46. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi tehillatcha. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi tehillatcha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Saram Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Ha'akol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye Metim Atarav Ve'Hoshia Mashrid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Holim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamo Chava'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Mimi Tumechayem Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot metim Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hametim Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh Ukdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We continue on page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, What are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot. We continue now with a few moments of silent prayer and reflection using either the words of our hearts or the words of the pages in front of us. There are very few moments where you get to stand on the bima, both with a brand new cantor, rabbi. I was listening to Hannah sing, and I was like, oh, they could be a cantor. With a brand new rabbi, as well as your Rabbi Emeritus, and so it is my pleasure to invite up both Rabbi Bob and Rabbi Bender to come join us on the bima. We continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service, on page 248. Please rise.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Olam Olam Omer, Al Shlosha Devarim. Shosha Devarim, Haolam Omed. HaTorah Le'al Havodah Le'al Gemilut Chasadim. HaTorah Le'al Havodah Le'al Gemilut Chasadim. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu.
Please be seated. This week, our Torah portion is Emor, and we will learn from Drew tomorrow morning as well about this Torah portion. But here we have a Torah portion where we have all sorts of laws, as is often the case. We have laws that are regulating lives and the sacrifices of the priests. We have the calendar. We have Shabbat and Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and the pilgrimage festivals of Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. And we also have that God commands the Israelites to bring clear olive oil for lighting the sanctuary menorah. The ingredients and placement are displayed of the displayed loaves of sanctuary bread are explained. And then we have some laws at the end, not so pleasant, dealing with things like murder, the maiming of others, things that we don't really like to think about. We're opposed. The answer is don't do it, right? And what we have is a true Lador Vador moment tonight, because we have the person who became bar mitzvah last year, Sam Freeman, who is going to reprise his Torah reading tonight. So, Ya'amod Shmuel ben Baruch ve'Efrona likro haTorah. Ya'amod harav Hana mi beit Chaviva liron ve'Hershel la'aliyah haTorah. And if you would like to follow along in our Chumash this evening, that's the maroon books underneath the seats in front of you. We are on page 731. Let me just show you where it is. Let me show you where it is. Ready? Okay. Right. Did you see it? Hang on one second. Oh, it's because it is.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Al hamnorah haTorah yaro et hanero lifnei Adonai tamid v'lakavta solet v'afita ota shetem esrei halot shenei esronim yeh hahalahai hat v'samtam otam Shetem arahot, shesh hama arehet, ahal hashulhan hatahor, lifnei Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. While we have the Torah out in our midst, we take time in our service to think about those who are in need of healing, whether that's healing of mind or body or spirit. And on this Shabbat, we think of Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, Rabbi Fred Wenger, Leonard Schutzman, Frederick Bryan, Scott Stewart, Sonia Maria Reimar Miller, Carol Pretnar, Paul Alterman, John Eulenberg, Simon Gannett, Philip Lovachev, Rachel Basio, Peggy McGrath, Yitzhak Yisrael Ben Daniel Vasara, Jeff Liebold, Brian Winkleman, Barbara Ben Ezra, Polly Cooper, and all who suffer whom we know not by name. Mi Sheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov, Ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah, Hu Yivarech V'Yirapeh et Kol Cholei Yisrael, Vayishlach Lahem Bimhera Refuah Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf, V'Nomar, Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind, and let us say, Amen. We continue now with the singing of Misha Berach on page 253.
Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
The B'nai Mitzvah process starts in 5th grade when students receive their B'nai Mitzvah date. A year prior to the B'nai Mitzvah, students begin the more formal process of studying for their B'nai Mitzvah. As we mark this special occasion on the Shabbat of your Torah portion, it is a time for families to begin this process together by attending Shabbat and holiday services, having conversations around what it means to become a B'nai Mitzvah, and thinking about how your family wants to mark this special milestone. Tonight, we have a special opportunity to welcome a student to this part of the B'nai Mitzvah journey. It is my pleasure to invite Drew back to the Bima, along with Eliana Korvatko. Ellie, we stand here together to give you this Torah commentary to use over the next year and hopefully beyond that. We hope that this Torah commentary helps you to become more familiar with your Torah portion and gives you ability to study the Torah as a whole. We are so excited to welcome you into this chain of tradition with your Torah portion, Va'era.
Next year, Ellie, you will be here the night before your B'nai Mitzvah, and we hope that next year you will be able to present the next year's student with their Torah commentary. Thus, we link tradition and Torah together, building strength in our Jewish community. So I'd like to invite, if there's anyone who had either the Torah portions of Emor, which is this week's Torah portion, or Va'era, which is the Torah portion when Ellie will become B'nai Mitzvah, as your B'nai Mitzvah Torah portion to come join us on the Bima for a blessing. Anyone? Emor? Va'era? Are you all just being shy? No? Okay. Please rise as I offer the priestly blessings. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence wherever you go, wherever your life takes you. And may you know God's greatest gift, the gift of shalom, the gift of peace. And let us say, Amen. We are going to remain standing as we lift and dress the Torah. Ya'amod Hershel Moshe ben Naphtali v'Fruma Hagba, Ta'amod Chaviva Liron bat Abraham v'Sara Golelet.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Please be seated. Someday Howard's going to teach me how to do Hagbah like that. I'll learn eventually. We are going to continue now by counting the Omer. The Omer is the period of time between Passover and Shavuot. It is a time to help us remain accountable, a time to help us so that we are aware of our timing, how we are journeying these 49 days between Passover and Shavuot. And that prayer, I forgot to write the page number down, so give me a second. 278, this is why we have amazing people in our community who pay attention to these things for me. And we say in the middle, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Today is the 25th day, which is 3 weeks and 4 days of the Omer. It is my pleasure now to invite up Robin Purvis to lead us in our prayer for the country on page 258, and Joan Purvis to lead us in our prayer for Israel, which is on a handout that she will bring up.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for the state of Israel and for all Israel's inhabitants. Source of life, bless and strengthen those who defend the land and ensure their safe and speedy return home. Protect and guide them. Holy and blessed one, show Israel's leaders your path so they may act with wisdom, courage, and dedication, and that they may be unwavering in their pursuit of peace. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening. Freer of the captives, return all of those who are kidnapped safe and sound to their homes without the spilling of more innocent blood, without any more souls being tarnished by horrific acts. Master of compassion, help us to hold the humanity and the heartache of the Jewish people while also holding the humanity and the dignity of the Palestinian people. As we are made in your image, remind us of your ways. Spread over us your shelter of peace and fulfill the vision of your prophets. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not take up sword against nation, They shall never again know war.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Amen. We are going to return the Torah to the Ark. Please turn to page 256 and rise.
Eitz Chaim Hila Machazikim Bavetomchecha Meushar Eitz Chaim Hila Machazikim Bavetomchecha Meushar Shalom, 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 Shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Please be seated.
Anybody who has been to Osrui, or probably most other summer camps, knows the song The Circle Game. At Osrui, we have our own little shtick and our dance moves and our silly phrases that we add to the song. And so I thought we would try and see if you still have the same shtick as when I was a camper. So let's maybe sing the chorus. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time, Jewish time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. Yes, nice. Okay, it included the piece that I'm going to talk about, which is amazing. So when I was growing up, the Jewish time, I always thought that just meant being late. My family is always late. You know us, you love us. We would always just say, sorry, it's Jewish time. Sorry, we're on Jewish time. My mom said it before this service. Oh, no, we can start a few minutes late. It's Jewish time. I have come to understand this addition to the circle game, not about Jewish perpetual lateness, but instead about how Jews have, for our entire existence, created meaning with time. How we have constructed our calendar around our values, following the cycles of the earth to connect us to the seasons as they go round and round. Look around, we're all here for Shabbat, entering into a day of rest, marking the passing of time with intention. And maybe you don't do this every week. Maybe you have dinner with your family. Maybe you have a special get-together with friends. Either way, you're making meaning by being together. As Rabbi Weiner said in this week's Torah portion and more, God reminds us of our holidays, gives us kind of a rough draft of the Jewish calendar, and it gives us our commandment to observe Shabbat, to make it holy. Now, the book of Leviticus has a lot of laws, also things that make us uncomfortable. Good luck tomorrow. I'm very excited for you. There's lots of fun laws. But many people believe that all of these laws, or most of these laws, are for the priests. However, the laws around keeping Shabbat and keeping the calendar are said to B'nai Yisrael, to all of the children of Israel, not just the priests. This seems to say that the ways that we make time holy, make Shabbat holy, is by being together, is by being in community with one another. There is a reason that to celebrate Shabbat and these festivals are given as a commandment, because God needs us to make time holy. God needs our help. We see this really powerfully at camp. Shabbat at camp is magical. That shower after a really gross week, maybe you did your nails at your cabin with your friends, putting on that clean Shabbos outfit that you never would wear any other time during camp, because God forbid it gets something else on it. Going to camp dinner. I remember it being delicious. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of gross. Good? Okay, great. And then going to Shabbat Shirah. Hearing the voices of your community around you in song. This is holy. Being partners with God in making that time holy by spending time with the community outside of the normal schedule. Camp time is what I would call mushy. It's weird. A day feels like a week, and then in the blink of an eye, you're sitting at your final Havdalah crying with your friends that the summer is over. But camp helps us help God make time holy by giving us these opportunities to be together. The counselors, the staff, all of the campers working together to make meaning out of time and space within a calendar that our people have been a part of, been practicing for thousands of years. This is especially holy at camp, but it's not just at camp. When we exist with our families, our friends, our loved ones, community members, here in services, at home for a meal, lighting candles, laughing, arguing over dinner, we are being partners with God in making that time holy. Just like Tikkun Olam, which is something we speak about a lot, repairing the world, bringing more peace, bringing more justice into the world, there is a lot of work to do on that. That is upon us, but so is making time holy through community. Our Torah, our rabbis, our hearts know that when we make time together, when we exist in that holy space, that is nourishing for us. It's good for us. Jewish time, camp time, this helps us be better selves when we go out into the world to do our other tasks. I am so grateful to have been raised in this community at camp, to have had rabbis and teachers and friends, to have had people to laugh with, to argue with, people to embrace. Because being in community on a Jewish calendar, observing the sacredness of Jewish time, helps me go back out into the world better than before. We can't control time. Sometimes it holds us very gently, like that first Shabbat at camp when you have so much time in the world. And sometimes it blasts through a wall when we're not ready, like the last Shabbat. But we can't control it, but we can make meaning from it. And in the end, we can make Jewish time together, even if we're a little bit late. Shabbat Shalom.
So Hannah, you're going to stay up here for a moment because, like at your B'nai Mitzvah, Rabbi Bob is going to share some words with you.
Okay, great. Gonna make me cry again?
I hope so. My brother and I used to have a contest. Could we make our younger sister cry? I officiated at her wedding, and I said, Ellen, and she started crying. Rabbi Bender, this is not the first time I've stood on this bima with you. When you were 13 years old, you stood right over there, and I took the Torah scroll, the same Torah scroll we read from this evening, and I put it in your arms, and I declared that we are forging a new link on this chain of tradition.
On Sunday morning, you stood on another bima in a slightly grander space, but the same general shape.
Yeah.
It was like, the architects went to the same school. Rabbi Andrew Weiss, the provost of the Hebrew Union College, ordained you a rabbi. You've been promoted. You are no longer a link on the chain of tradition. You're a forger of links. You will help other people become links on that chain of tradition. When we used to go to camp for the family retreat, when you were in middle school, the kids in elementary school looked up to you, and they saw you as their rabbi. They knew, right? They knew. Anybody who knew you growing up would not be the least bit surprised that you're now a rabbi. You've been on this path, and we are honored and pleased and proud to have been part of your journey. And we just can't wait to see what you're going to do in North Carolina. They have no idea what's coming to them. Watch the news feeds. Big things are happening in Durham. We're proud of you, and we're grateful that you allow us to be part of this sacred moment in your life. I'd like to ask you God's blessings for you on behalf of the congregation. Please rise. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Amen. Mazel tov. Please be seated.
We have quite a few people in this room who are here on journeys or going on journeys very shortly. We have people who are going to camp this summer. We have people who are going to Israel very soon. We have people who are moving, whether to North Carolina or to other places. So if you are one of those people who is on a journey, if you're going to camp this summer, if you are going to Israel, if you are moving, any camp, we're going to invite everyone to come up and to receive a blessing. Don't be shy. I know who you all are, so come on up. So we have all of you who are up here who are going on journeys, whether in a few weeks or in a few months. May you find what it is that you need to find on that journey. May you meet the people who you need to meet on that journey. And may that journey, whatever it is, may it be a blessing for you. And so we are going to join together in singing Tfilat HaDerech.
May you be blessed as you go on your way. May you be guided in peace. May you be blessed with health and joy. May this be your blessing. Amen. 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 May this be your blessing. Amen. Amen.
We are going to begin to conclude our service. It is my pleasure to invite up Albert and Gordy to help us open our ark. Please turn to page 282 and rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated.
ונאמר בחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who have died at this season and in years past. On this Shabbat, we remember Claire Weiner, my grandmother, Zlata Cohen, mother of Linda Soha, Michael Wagner, father of Gilda Ross, Frank Saliamonis, husband of Eleanor Saliamonis, Agdas Tavana, mother of Sima Tavana, Yusef Tavana, father of Sima Tavana, Mary Stack, mother of Lisa Stack, grandmother of Cameron Trable, Lou Farber, father of Paul Farber, Marilyn Oshansky, grandmother of Susan Hurwitz, Gertrude Fain, grandmother of Philip Hurwitz, Sarah Fram, mother of Harriet Fram, Joseph Glassberg, father of Lisa Margulis, Edward Bell, father of Rich Bell, Judith Dorfman, mother of Beth Spenadel, grandmother of Jacob and Hannah Spenadel, Dora Freed, mother of Jack Freed, Rick Shapiro, brother of Sherry Balin, Morley Brickman, father of Karen Burstein, Regina Redmond, mother of Sharon Clark, Kitty Feldstein, cousin of Sharon Clark, Richard Simon, stepfather of Lauren Mastrud, Robert Schwartz, father of Lawrence Schwartz, Quentin Jenkins, stepfather of John Butterfield, Stephen Wills, father of Matt Wills, Joanne Frank, mother of Judith Lerner, Floyd Bonk, father of Virginia Weisskopf, Ethel Zemp, aunt of Judith Frankel, great-aunt of Daniel Frankel, Elaine L. Bell, grandmother of Dan Tater, great-grandmother of Olivia Tater, Keith Matthew Stoller, and we mourn the recent passing of Debbie Berger, friend of Barbara Carlson, Ellis Goodman, friend of Susie Rothschild, Neil Keller, father of Jason Keller, grandfather of Cecily and Eden Keller, Dr. Richard M. Simon, uncle of Howard Bender, great-uncle of Juniper and Rabbi Hannah Bender, Paul Lederhausen, father of Mats Lederhausen, grandfather of Rebecca Cantor and Alexandra Lederhausen Nabavian, great-grandfather of Eleanor, Olivia, and Harrison Cantor, and Elizabeth, Charlotte, and Benjamin Nabavian, Joellen Romano, sister of Michael Hoy, aunt of Samantha, Sophia Jackson, Alexis, and Amelia Hoy. To those names, we add the names of anybody else who you might be thinking about tonight. If you are observing Shiva or Shloshim or a Yartzeit or just remembering somebody, we invite you to share their name aloud or in your hearts as my eyes go around the room. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We continue together with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutem, be'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei d'kudasha brichum, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen.
Ve'imru, Amen. Ve'imru, Amen. Ve'imru, Amen. Ve'imru, Amen.
Please be seated. When Rabbi Bender and I were planning this service, I asked them, do you have any requests? What are your favorite songs? And the only thing that they requested was one song, our closing song, Gesher Tsar Me'od. The whole world is a narrow bridge, and the most important part is not to be afraid. So we will sing that all together on page 339.
Kol haolam kulo Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od. Kol haolam kulo Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od. V'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo lefached klal. 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 Ya la la la, ya la la la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, la la la.
It is my pleasure to invite up one of our past presidents, Al Herbach, to share some announcements with us tonight.
Shabbat Shalom. I am Al Herbach, and I am here on behalf of the congregation. I want to thank our usher, Andrea, and our greeter, Rachel Wood, and our security team. I want to thank Cindy for the music. Thank you. Mazel Tov, Rabbi Bender, on your ordination, and to Kathy and Howard, the beaming parents. Also, Mazel Tov to Kelly on her ordination as well. Mazel Tov to Leandrew Tolliver. You did an awesome job tonight. Want to thank you for reading from the Torah, or reading tonight, and good Mazel Tov on your becoming a bar mitzvah tomorrow. Mazel Tov to Eliana for receiving her Torah commentary, and Yasher Koach to Sam Freeman for reading the Torah. Tomorrow, the Around the World Prom comes to Eitz Chaim for our annual fundraiser. Enjoy hors d'oeuvres from around the globe, a DJ and dancing, the balloon pop, a raffle, and live auction, all to support the congregation. And my favorite, join us this Sunday morning for our congregational barbecue, sponsored by the Brotherhood. For more information on any and all of our upcoming events, please check out our weekly happenings email. And lastly, please join us after services for a wonderful oneg, co-sponsored by the Bender family in honor of Rabbi Bender, and the Tolliver family in honor of Leandrew. Shabbat Shalom.
We are going to conclude with Kiddush and Motzi, and I'm going to invite up the Tolliver family to come join us on the bima. Drew, you're going to hold this. The words are on page 5 if you'd like to follow along. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidasha mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. We join together in Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. May we all be inspired by Rabbi Bender's words to make all of our time Jewish time. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.